Hello everyone, and welcome to my CBS Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Carter isn't the father of Daphne's miraculous child? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers state that Daphne Rose Walton feels like a failure. The woman recently discovered that she is infertile, but she still has a remote chance of getting pregnant. That means the woman might turn to someone for consolation, only to find out she's pregnant with another man's baby. Let's investigate this theory now. Let's begin by talking about how Lee Finnegan came up being Daphne's doctor. It was made obvious that Lee was simply filling in since Daphne's usual doctor had an urgent emergency. Lee did, however, reassure Daphne that she was well versed in her case file. For a few moments, I thought Lee could be mistaken, but she's sure about the diagnosis of early menopause. Lee understands both sides of it. In addition to being a physician, she also adopted a child. So, I wish Daphne had have listened when Lee suggested there were other possibilities. At the same time, Daphne has a lot to comprehend before she even considers alternative options. The nose finds it difficult to acknowledge that her body is going through an early menopause. Steffi Forrester Finnegan offered her own eggs, but Daphne rejected. The lady said she wanted her own baby. According to previews on The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffi accompanied Daphne to the doctor's visit. Daphne probably will accept help in another way even though she didn't want her friend's eggs. Naturally, Steffi will inform John Finn Finnegan about the alarming diagnosis. Finn may support adoption even though he will feel sorry for Daphne. But what if it doesn't make it that far? We already know that Steffi and Finn will be at odds over a matter later this week. This is about Sheila Carter Sharp and has nothing to do with conception. But with Finn being adopted and Daphne dealing with infertility, they might have something to discuss. I also wonder if Finn and Daphne would succumb to temptation. Finn has never piqued Daphne's curiosity in such a way. However, it appears that a one-night stand might occur given Daphne's sense of failure toward Carter and Shin's dissolution. How likely is it that Finn will unintentionally become a father once more? To take it a step further, how can Daphne inform Carter that she has a miraculous child but that he is not the father? How will this affect the friendship between Daphne and Steffi? Will blows up, Eric is hurt, and RJ goes too far? There will be spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. In tomorrow's episode, Eric Forrester gets caught in the crossfire. The Bold and the Beautiful recap is in 4. John Finn Finnegan makes a final choice regarding Sheila Carter in today's episode. Meanwhile, Eric Forrester gives a blistering interview attacking Logan. Keep reading to find out what is coming up in the CBS soap drama. RJ Forrester tries to soothe Electra Forrester. The lady is still shaken from the night before. RJ advises her to put Will Spencer out of her mind. Steffi Forrester Finnegan enters the CEO office. The brunette talks to Ridge Forrester Eric and Zend Forrester Dominguez. They are live streaming their collection without any press. Electra and RJ enter. The models are prepared, according to Ridge. Everybody is watching the livestream. Steffi gushes about her grandfather's creations. Electra frets about how people are reacting. Eric wishes they had an audience, too. Ridge and Steffi say the influencers are watching. Eric is trending on social media. Ridge believes that there is no way that Logan can be as clever as they are. Meanwhile, Will Spencer and RJ Forrester engage into another fight. Keep reading to find out what is coming up in the CBS soap drama. At Logan, Will enters the office. Bill Spencer orders his son to stop worrying about Electra. For the FC catastrophe, Bill wants popcorn. Will is proud of Electra. They watch the live stream. Bill whines about the production. Deke Sharp admires the designs. Will experiences a flashback. Bill and Katie Logan Spencer state they pressured FC to prove themselves. After the collecting stops, Eric goes on. Reporters began quizzing him about Logan. Eric doesn't want to talk about that. Eric tries to focus on his new line. Suddenly, Eric yells to the reporter about Logan stealing his thunder. The man believes Katie abducted Hope Logan Spencer and damaged Brooke Logan Forrester. Eric declares that Katie is equally as bad as Bill. Like Sally Spectra, he refers to Logan as a cheap knockoff shop. Oh my, another name drop. Ridge is forced to drag Eric away. Bill thinks this is all juicy and wonderful. Eric just handed them free publicity. Back at FC, Eric explains himself. According to Ridge, the conflict with Logan is only getting underway. At the hospital, Sheila shows up. The lady wants to know if Finn convinced Steffi. Sheila is reminded by the doctor of the amount she is requesting. Sheila points out that she didn't discipline Deacon Sharp or Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig. This is their final meeting, and Finn apologizes. Sheila maintains that she's changed. Finn says Steffi lay down the law. Deacon and Taylor discuss Sheila at Bikini Bar. They find it unbelievable that she signed the divorce decree. Deacon believes Sheila has truly improved. Even though they are supporting opposing teams, Taylor informs him that the broadcast is on. Eric Forrester has had enough. This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, teasers suggest emotions will continue to boil over between the Forrester and Spencer men. Will Spencer Jr.'s savage assault on R.J. Forrester earlier this month touched off a nasty domino effect on the CBS soap series? Do things become so terrible that the Forrester patriarch has to step in and lay down the law? Ridge Forrester, Torsten K., and Dollar Bill have come to blows several times over the years on The Bold and the Beautiful. Their kids Will Spencer Jr. and R.J. Forrester are definitely not breaking any generational curses and are following closely in their father's footsteps. Last week on The Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge paid Bill Spencer a visit after his son beat up R.J. Forrester. According to serial teasers, fans can expect to see the two men bump heads several more times this summer. The fists will be flying. Eric Forrester is an old man and tends to steer clear of the drama. But after he learns what Will Spencer Jr. did to RJ and Electra, B&B teasers indicate the patriarch will lay down the law. Next week Eric will officially ban Will Spencer from all things Forrester, including Electra. Tease the Forresters won't have to tell Electra twice. Ultimately, Electra's job and future depend on the Forresters. By the end of the week, Will Spencer will be drowning his sorrows and tired from begging his ex for another opportunity. Is Will Spencer going to take Eric Forrester's warnings seriously and stay away from RJ and Electra? Do you believe the patriarch is right and Will Spencer Jr. is dangerous? Will spirals as Electra chooses loyalty over romance. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers record that Will Spencer is melancholy. Electra Forrester too gazed at the moon, with their shared summer swoon reaching its climax. Credit to the writing staff for providing dialogue for Morrow where Will properly linked Eric Forrester's and Ridge Forrester's portrayal of him and the Spencer family as nasty cartoon villains. The audience also heard Morrow liken Electra and himself to the timeless Romeo and Juliet. The parallel to William Shakespeare's timeless classic Scene Department. How ironic as well, because in this edition of Los Angeles, California, there is a family who mock the Spencer family, as personified by Will, and there are also others who want to mistakenly downplay the importance of the Bard. This plot point's validity is supported by biased perspectives. Eric and Ridge have had it out with Bill Spencer in the past. Many years ago, Bill's father likewise felt the tip of the spear. Will has had numerous doors opened for him since birth, as those on the other side of the screen who are connected to well-known family members can comprehend. But he also suffers from his father's many enemies, which has cost him a first love. Brooke Logan Forrester and Katie Logan Spencer don't get along. But that is just one aspect in numerous expertly designed stories that are linked. Considering the on-screen parallels Will has made to the battle he and Electra are undergoing, it's fair to compare this young male character to a classic bad boy. Among numerous personalities in entertainment history that can be appropriately cited, remember James Dean, who played Jim Stark in classic flick Rebel Without a Cause. Well, Will has a cause. He loves Electra and, despite his admitted sins, wants her to overlook her family's many warnings about him. Eric discounted Electra's idea that Will was the one, which was quite rich considering McCook's character has had multiple genuine loves. The patriarch of the Forrester family regularly disregarded counsel that was provided to him concerning love as well. R.J. Forrester has a lot in common. They both come from renowned families, don't have money issues, and profit from being adored by numerous young females. Will is also RJ's cousin. But as the fans know, Electra and RJ aren't connected because Ridge is Eric's adopted kid. Considering what Electra considers to be a coerced decision, it stands to soapy reason that RJ will supplant Will. Whether she falls in love with RJ or, if so, as deeply as she is with Will, remains to be seen in what is undoubtedly a skewed opinion, one of B&B's better family conflict storylines in many years. Deacon abandoned Sheila without any justification? According to previews on The Bold and the Beautiful, there may be some couple swapping this summer. Deacon Sharp feels he's on the fast road to a happy ever after with Taylor Hayes. Now that Sheila Carter finally signed the divorce papers, he'll be ready to put a ring on it. But, is he about to get some competition for Taylor? Keep reading to discover out. Here's what's coming up next on B&B this month. Since Taylor Hayes began sneaking around with Sheila Carter's husband, there weren't any other prospective guys in her life. Deacon Sharp hasn't had any competition since he began hooking up with his therapist. All that could change though, because Taylor's ex-husband might be back on the market shortly. Right now, Brooke Logan is now jet-setting away her difficulties and has been MIA since Hope Logan's great betrayal. Eventually she is going to have to come back home to Los Angeles. And, when she does, she and her spouse will have some challenges to go through. According to Bold and Beautiful teasers, Brooke will blame Ridge Forrester for her daughter deciding to work for the enemy. Brooke and Hope are going to make up someday. Although, this disagreement is a doozy and it could take a long time for the mother and daughter to work things out. Ridge won't be quick to pardon traitor Hope, though. In fact, he will probably even present his wife an ultimatum and tell Brooke she has to choose between Ridge and the Forresters or her daughter. The walls are closing in on Ridge, it's just a matter of time before the Hope Logan drama rips the marriage apart. When Ridge is single, he'll more than likely go crawling back to his other ex Taylor Hayes. After Ridge broke up with her, Taylor was lonely and started seeing the owner of Il Giardino. If it was up to Taylor Hayes, she and Ridge would be married right now. Can Deacon truly match the marriages and history of Ridge and Taylor? Do you think Taylor will have second thoughts about Deacon when Ridge is back on the market? Ridge and Eric team up to control Electra's love life. Will walked up at the Forrester mansion unannounced and uninvited. He told Electra that he needed her and missed her. Electra said that she thinks about him all the time. All that mattered was their love, Will told her. He loved her and needed her. Electra believed that Will was apologetic and that he loved her. But Ridge told her that she couldn't be with him anymore. She brought up all that's transpired with their families. Even though Electra doesn't want to listen to them, she's still sad about what happened. Will said that Electra's love for him was all that mattered, despite her fear of witnessing Will attack RJ. In the meantime, Eric and Ridge discussed Electra's jewelry business at Forrester Creations. Eric said that it had to proceed without a hitch. Eric didn't want Electra to have Will on her mind as a distraction. He concurred with Ridge's assertion that Spencers and Forresters don't get along. Eric vowed they would do whatever it takes to keep Will and Electra apart. Meanwhile, Will was already at the Forrester estate, seeking to win Electra back. Shortly thereafter, Eric noticed Will in his living room. He told him that he was not welcome in his home or anywhere near Electra. Will agreed it was Eric's residence, but he had the freedom to see Electra. Eric reminded Will that he was lying to her all this time about Logan's new jewelry brand. That was a betrayal. According to Eric, apologies didn't matter anymore. Eric assumed Ridge had made it clear to Electra not to see Will again. Eric was upset to find a Spencer standing in his living room. Will thought it was crazy that they stated Spencers and Forresters couldn't mingle. Eric stated Ridge had every right to impose these regulations. They had a duty to keep Electra safe. Eric tried to kick Will out, but he refused. The nicest thing that had ever happened to him was something he was not willing to let go of. Eric pressed Electra to make a decision. What will she decide? Will she follow her heart or allow Eric and Ridge determine her love life?